Welcome to Break a Wish, where all your wildest dreams come true, but with terrible, ironic costs. I'm your host, Maddox Campbell, and since this is our first episode, let me tell you what we do here. On each episode, we're going to take a wish, like a magic wish, like from a genie or a shooting star, or a monkey paw, or a Zoltar machine, or a crossroads demon, or like magic wishing dust, whatever. It doesn't matter how you got the wish, but you have a magic wish. Then we take turns proposing different ironic costs to that wish. Our goal is to find a perfectly balanced ironic cost, one that makes it absolutely heart-wrenchingly difficult to decide, knowing that cost, would you take this wish? Then we each tell you if we would take the wish and why. And you too. We will want to hear from you, whether you'd take the wish or not. We are aiming for a 50-50 split once everyone's weighed in. Today's wish was submitted by Alex Crawford, an audience member during one of our live test shows. And he wished to have the musical genius of John Lennon. Let's get into the breakdown. And we got a new exciting wish today, and joining me to discuss its possible cost, we have Paul JP.
Hello.
And Anne McMaster.
Hey, hey.
And the wish we will be discussing is, I wish to have the musical genius of John Lennon.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, notable as a Beatle, just in case there's that one person who does not know who John Lennon is.
Also notable as not being a Beatle.
Oh,
sort of after.
He had some solo career? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm aware of that.
Well, you know.
Roughly. More so as the Beatle, but also he did some of his own stuff.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Let it be, guys. Let it be.
Oh, and with that subtle reference, we'll go first to Anne. Anne, what would be a cost?
Oh, man. Okay, you have the musical genius of John Lennon, but the voice of Yoko Ono.
Ooh.
Okay. So you know how to compose, you know how to write.
Yeah,
But
every time you open your mouth, you sound like Yoko Ono.
No, so clarification here is, again, you're probably more musically inclined than me.
Okay.
Someone did like listening to Yoko Ono, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
she had a musical career.
She remains pretty popular.
Yeah.
She does, yep. But I'm thinking Yoko Ono, to be clear, at her most experimental. Do you know some of those experimental stage songs she released?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
So you know better, but you can only do the experimental versions of her?
Exactly.
like aggressively bizarre.
Yeah. The parody of Bare Naked Ladies stuff at
right.
that stage.
And sort of late 70s, early 80s, when that kind of thing was just, this is what we're doing right now in terms of experimental music and everything.
Yeah, post-melody, pre-painting rocks.
Yeah.
And if we're talking
40 years on, it really doesn't hold up
at
so
all,
much
yeah.
in a lot of people's sort of view.
Yeah,
So-
and if we're talking about John Lennon's genius specifically, it's very geared towards pop and rock, like rock and roll and then sort of a pop rock later, right?
Definitely with the Beatles, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they themselves got pretty experimental, and I think that's where a lot of their... for a lot of groups back then, a lot of pop groups fell by the wayside and nobody remembers them. And a lot of people remember the Beatles because they were constantly
evolving.
They
and
were
changing,
pushing
yeah.
themselves and changing and everything. And then John Lennon continued to do that once he was by
I
himself.
So I wonder, and with the musical genius of John Lennon, could you make that work?
I wonder. I mean, I would think so. The guy was an amazing... Do I answer my own question?
I'm asking you, I'm just going to, because remember, we're kind of trying to come up with a cost that sullies the wish. And if your voice comes out as Yoko Ono, but you have the musical genius of John Lennon, maybe it doesn't sully it because maybe you can pull that off.
Maybe.
And then it's just a positive.
And I guess you could always hire other singers, right? Like it wouldn't be you.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of
You'd
composers.
still make quite a career out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, collaborate.
Is there a way to make it worse then? To sully your wish a little bit more to make it... Because we're going for the 50-50, right? We're trying to make it so that people aren't sure if they want to take this wish. I feel like I would just take this. Like if I could just live the life I have now, plus have the genius of John Lennon, having the voice of Yoko Ono for my songs wouldn't be that bad. Is it maybe then that it extends into your everyday life?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Like every interaction you have, like going to Starbucks and ordering
is a full-on Yoko Ono experimental
full
song.
on everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does sully the rest of my life enough that that'd really hard to do a serious interview.
Imagine going on a date. I mean...
I think you would just be quiet and make like reserved
maybe you'd be really
classic,
popular then.
yeah.
Like, wow, what a listener. Wow.
Yeah.
so attractive.
Yeah. You just sort of nod pensively at them a lot.
Yeah.
And hope that would carry you
So
through.
deep. Wow.
Very deep. Yeah.
So still waters. Yeah, that might work.
And he's so good at piano.
Yeah. you just do a lot. You communicate only through your art.
Ooh, that might be cool, actually. Communicate only through piano.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that means we have to make it even worse now.
Even worse.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
We've just made him too sexy. Or ourselves too. The wish taker is too sexy at this point.
Right? The musical genius of John Lennon.
With the voice of Yoko Ono.
The voice of Yoko Ono. Oh, and the body hair of a yeti?
Is that how you pronounce yeti?
Isn't it?
No.
Is it yeti?
It is not.
It's not?
As in
Yeti.
like the abominable snowman?
The abominable snowman. Thank you very much. Wait, it's not Yeti? Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Guys,
Yeah, it's
I
Yeti.
am in my early 40s and I just know. What?
Yeti.
It's a
It's
folk
a
word.
Yeti.
It's not. This is not a young word. This is a word.
Yeti?
It's Yeti.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeti's
Yeti.
not threatening. Yeti is it's threatening. It's like close to Jedi. It's scary.
Well, I mean,
Yeti?
it depends, how threatening something is depends on whether or not you shriek it in the voice of Yoko Ono.
Okay, now we're
it's
talking.
True. So
Now
yes,
we're
if you have the musical genius of John Lennon, the voice of Yoko Ono, and for some reason the hair of a Yeti,
Good pronunciation. I love it. Love it.
yeah, I think that would sully the wish enough. I think it would be really hard to get the respect of the musical genius you have.
Yeah. No
If you're
offense to
constantly
anyone who
being
does
hunt-
have the hair of the Yeti or anyone listening who is a
I
Yeti.
don't think they're listening to podcasts. I think they're running around in the woods,
think so?
avoiding cameras.
Right.
That's like we're not talking just a man of Mediterranean descent, Harry. We're talking full on.
Oh, wow. Campbell.
It's noted.
You hairless wonder.
I have the hair of.
You have the faintest hair.
Faintest of
you
hair.
have wisps.
Look, it's not a judgment one way or the other. I'm just saying Yetis are much more hairy than any
True.
group
Full
of
on.
normal humans.
Yeah.
That is why we.
Luxurious coats.
That is why we hunt them as cryptids. They're
Right. For their pelts.
For their pelts. They go very well in the black market. So yeah, I think that's a good cost right there.
Okay.
All right, let's
I think I'm getting what you're going for now.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
I'll
okay.
transfer over to Paul now. Paul, what would be your cost?
I mean, not for nothing, but my first thought was, well, I mean, you get shot.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That was
You
where I
know, you
was
get
leaning.
the musical genius of John Lennon, and then somebody decides they want to impress Jodie Foster one day, and
And then your legend lives forever. I mean, that's kind of a great way. You never produce bad work. Like you go out a legend, peak of your career. I mean,
you are
sad.
dead, though.
You are still dead.
You are very dead.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm not a particularly religious person.
Okay.
It would be nice to know that, oh yeah, I'm going to be remembered fondly for my art, but I also really don't want to be shot.
Yeah.
And I think the one kind of outweighs the other. If I could, not be shot, but then people kind of forget about me down the line, that's fine.
Ooh, I think being forgotten is a more painful death. I mean, to go from the heights of fame that John Lennon had to like performing at weddings or something, like, oh, ow, shoot me.
Okay. I mean, I think that could be a separate cost too. Is like you have the musical genius,
Oh, but
but it is fully never
yeah,
recognized.
but you're in a wedding band.
Yeah, you're in a wedding band. You just never get any sort of cultural penetration. People are like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
you did really good tonight. That was a great set. Great set."
You're one of the most naturally gifted, soulful pianists I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Do the chicken dance
Chicken
again.
Right.
dance one more time, please.
Oh, that's rough.
I know this isn't normally done on piano, but we do need the crisscross. It's just something we have to do at weddings now. So I think I'll put that one in as mine. But just because I was thinking on yours, I was leaning yours honestly as my cause.
Just getting shot.
But I had a slightly other complication on it, which was you definitely get shot by a fan, but I would say that it's based on how popular you are, how soon you get shot.
Okay, so the more popular you are,
The more fans,
faster you get shot.
The more fans you have, the higher the likelihood you're
Oh my
shot
God.
at any one day.
the faster you find the bad nut
Backstreet
in the
Boys,
bar.
right? Yeah, like the Backstreet Boys would have been dead after 5 minutes. Or sort of, that's
Right,
it.
yeah,
Spice
'cause they
Girls,
just had
forget
so
it.
many fans. Yeah.
Right.
So
But on the other hand, there's more of them.
you get a 1 in 5 chance of surviving each
being
getting
the-
shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, because there's only one bullet. Okay, got it. Got it.
I mean, I guess there could be more bullets, but we're assuming
I mean, we're in our world now, right?
Yeah, we're in this world.
We're the masters.
because then it becomes an extra thing of like, you have the musical genius. Do you want to share it? Because the more you share your genius, the higher the likelihood that you're going to get shot sooner.
But isn't genius one of those things that like it has to come out? You can't control it. It's who you are, right?
That's what I've
we certainly all
understood
want
from
to.
checking
Yeah.
out SoundCloud rappers is they just gotta.
Yeah.
They gotta put it out there.
Can't
You
be
don't
stopped.
have to go even on SoundCloud. They will give you tapes on the street.
Oh,
yeah. Poets as well. Yep.
And then they'll ask for a donation for that free CD they gave you sometimes.
Yeah.
To support their art that you haven't listened to yet.
But you know they're just gonna spend it on more facial tattoos.
Or rap. Doing more, like another mic.
Another mic.
They need more mics.
So they can wrap into 2 mics.
Yeah. Double fisting the mics.
Get that sweet stereo sound.
That's how you do it. You need 2 mics to get stereo. That's just
yeah.
That's just Matt. That's just how sound works.
That is just how sound
That's
works.
just sound math, guys.
Yeah, sound math, guys.
Can I take this opportunity to express how much of a garbage song I think Imagine is?
Sure.
Oh,
Let's
thank
take that.
you.
Let's-
It's so boring.
I mean, as wonderful as the Beatles were, and I kind of just resented them in high school because everybody liked them, and I was a jerk in high school. I still really hate Imagine. I think it's just
I think it's overplayed. Like it's probably a great song, but it's so I've heard it so many times. It's been covered so many
Yeah.
times. Like it's lost its meaning to me.
Okay, so let's consider this then.
okay.
You have the musical genius of John Lennon, but you can only sing Imagine.
Ooh,
Oh,
out. Bye. I'm out.
Is that too much? Yeah, it's too much, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would take it.
Imagine.
Because no one would book you for a show, like a full concert, if you could only sing one song.
I mean, and honestly, yeah,
constantly.
if you could only do one song, it wouldn't really matter to me what song it was. If it was the only song I was allowed to play,
Yeah, that's too much.
I would go insane.
Yeah.
I think your audience would go insane. I think everyone would go insane.
Yeah, I mean, I would shoot myself
Oh, yeah.
and hope that Jodie Foster got a kick out of it. Like,
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, that's vivid.
Yeah.
I like it.
just like to also say that I know it's not Jodie Foster's fault that John
No.
Lennon's dead.
No, she didn't
In
ask
case
for
you're
it.
listening, Jody. Yeah.
It
Jodie
was
Foster, I know that people didn't really like you in Elysium, but I thought it was a pretty fun movie.
I loved Elysium. Yeah,
I haven't seen it. What's it about?
It's
Matt
Damon.
Matt Damon gets an exosuit
and then he has to go to
in
space.
South Africa,
Yeah, he has to go to space.
where
It's
Jodie
hard
where
to
Jodie
describe.
Foster
Didn't we
lives.
didn't Matt Damon just come back from Mars?
He goes to space a lot.
Oh, this was before The Martian.
Yeah, this is before that. This is an older
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
It's hard to describe, but yeah, poor people on Earth, rich people in space. Matt Damon gets a suit.
Matt
so he
Damon
can-
gets irradiated.
yeah,
and then
he has to get a suit so he can go to space.
Cool.
to
okay.
save the world's poor.
Yeah,
Got you.
It's super fun, and Jodie Foster is so bizarre as the villain.
and at no point in the film did she seem impressed with John Lennon's assassin.
I
didn't read that off her face at any point in the film.
Wait,
I really
he's in the film?
enjoyed-
What?
No, he isn't. But I'm just
Who?
saying,
John
John
Lennon?
Lennon's assassin. No,
Okay.
Oh,
I actually don't know his name. I'm
Mark Chapman, I think.
Okay, we probably shouldn't give him publicity anyway.
That's okay. He just got denied parole.
Okay.
Again, I think.
I'm just saying, like, I tried to read her face, the subtext. She didn't seem impressed by him.
Oh, I would hope not. Yeah. Yeah. That I feel would be the socially appropriate response.
No, agreed.
Yeah. Yeti, really?
Yes.
God.
Yeti is wrong. Yeti is right.
What's the plural of Yeti?
Yetis.
Yeah.
Yeti, right?
I think.
Two eyes.
I think it's one of those. I think it's like moose. It's just plural. You have multiple Yeti.
One Yeti, two Yeti.
Yeah.
Three
I thought it
Yeti,
was
four.
Yetis.
It's all Yeti. It's Yeti all the way down.
Yeah, a parliament of Yetis.
Yeah.
A tangle.
They would get tangled, but I don't think that's the
Yeah,
term. for the
imagine
collective
that.
ground.
Like how the hairs work. Like how does that work when really hairy animals get together?
They don't get together very much because there's only supposed to be one of them, and he just seems to get around into completely different zones when it comes to Sasquatch.
That's Bigfoot.
big. Yeah, they're different, but they're
Wait,
also.
but then there's-
Sasquatch is not Yeti? What? They're different?
We're really going off topic, but I'll do it
Okay.
real quick. The Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, the Yeti, they're all basically the same thing, but in different people's folklore.
Great. Good explanation, Maddox.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a Yeti and a person from the Mediterranean?
Whoa. One is much
It's
easier
a-
to
it's a-
spot in the wild, for one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one is much hairier,
Yes.
and one is much easier to photograph.
Okay.
That's
And
about
one
it.
is a
I don't
much
want
better
to be
lover.
told which one.
That's
yeah.
I think that might be about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's because I think Yeti are people too.
Are they?
Probably.
They're,
Oh.
Yeah, they gotta be.
We don't know, but probably. They probably don't exist at all, would be my real guess. But
don't know.
if they do, sure.
I hope they do so I can apologize to one for mispronouncing their species wrong the
For a
whole
long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Mediterranean people exist so that Maddox can apologize to them in the future for...
I don't think it was mean, but if anyone was insulted by my saying that they tend to be hairy, I'm sorry.
I dated a yeti. I did. This guy had a full sweater of hair. Like, it was unreal. And I didn't know until it was too late. Like, you know, when you're dating someone.
Did you take any pictures?
No. But I did have to
You could have been famous.
fool around
Why
with
would
him.
you want them?
What?
Why would you want pictures?
Well, she'd be famous now.
Yeah.
Finally getting a good picture.
Of a...
Like in a selfie? With the Yeti? Yeah.
Yeah. This was pre-selfie, though. I should have thought about it. Yeah.
I think we need to circle back
Okay.
to the wish at hand.
Yeah.
We've gone off topic. So I think we have our 3 possible wishes. Anne was musical genius of John Lennon, but the voice of Yoko Ono and the hair of a Yeti. Mm-hmm. Paul, you had you get shot.
You get shot by Mark Chapman.
And were we good with the caveat of the more famous you are, the faster you get shot?
Yeah. I mean, I think that just getting shot in and of itself is like, well, I know I'm going to get shot at some point, but I like that because it gives you sort of a sliding scale, and then you can choose to do what you will.
Yeah.
With
Well,
your gift.
it'll make you want to share it more, but also want to not. It sort of like gets you that extra like internal conflict.
Yeah, because I think for me, if it was just knowing that I was definitely for sure going to be shot,
Yeah.
I probably would find a different skill to master.
Yeah. You get the musical genius, but you basically work with no recognition in wedding bands, doing a lot of covers. So do we have any of these that we're leaning on as our favorite of these wishes to go deeper on?
Like the one we would want to have?
Well, no, the one that we think is the most balanced. The one we think is the best 50-50 shot of people will take it, people won't. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Paul's right now.
Me too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the musical genius, but you do get shot, and the more famous, the sooner.
So do I get like points?
Well, I'll let you pick first. Knowing that is the cost, would you take this deal?
Oh man, when I was in high school, I wanted so badly to be a rock star. I really, really did. I went to university to study music, got kicked out of the music faculty of Carleton University.
I love that you wanted to be a rock star, so you went to university. That's hilarious.
Wait, when you say kicked out of the faculty, you mean you were a teacher and got kicked out, or do you mean department?
Like the department.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no. Also, they wouldn't let me be a teacher.
Yeah, that follows, but also that is insulting.
So that was always a thing I wanted to do. So yeah, I think I probably definitely would take the wish.
Yeah?
Certainly.
Just based on your love of music, it's worth it to have that talent.
Yeah, just based and like getting to tell my high school self like, hey, it doesn't matter if you've got that weird ponytail that nobody likes but you. Like, you're gonna be able to justify it when you write a song as saccharine and terrible as Imagine, and everybody holds it up as this is the song for peace.
And then as you tell through the time portal, your younger self this, a man walks up behind you
Mark Chapman.
shoots you in the head.
Freshly paroled.
I don't think it has to be Mark Chapman, but a fan.
Just a fan.
I mean, he looks like Mark Chapman for consistency's sake, but
Maybe it's Jodie Foster.
maybe it's Jodie Foster herself.
Oh, twist.
Oh.
Jodie Foster.
That's got to scar you in a way.
Getting shot?
Well, yes, but knowing that someone shot someone on your behalf to impress you.
Oh.
That's got to leave a mark.
I mean, a little, but at the same point, when you know that it's that disconnected, like, if I could trace it back to something I said, I'd feel real bad.
Yeah.
But if it's really just like, wait, what? He did what? Why? Because of who?
I'm
But
pretty
it's
sure
sort of
all that she did
painful.
was star in Taxi Driver. And
Right?
that was it.
Oh, God, it was after that movie? Ew.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the
yeah,
one.
she was
a baby.
She was very young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Woof. Ugh.
He
He gets worse and worse, this guy.
The more I hear about Mark Chapman,
The more I don't like him.
Yeah, he wasn't great to start with. We'll move over to Anne then. So
Oh, I'm
Anne.
taking that deal.
I'm taking
that.
it for sure.
Like, what a life. What a life to have lived.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a grade D- comedian doing murder mysteries. You know, like, I know what it feels like to play those weddings. But can you imagine what it would be like to have that? Okay, look, when I was like 26, I got to go up on stage with John Bon Jovi. Long story, but I'm standing on the stage at the Air Canada Centre, and there's literally like, I don't know, 50, 60,000 fans screaming and applauding and just like pouring all this energy onto the stage. And I swear, every hair like on my body, no offense, Maddox, stood up on end. And it was one of the most it was the biggest high I've ever experienced in my life. So yeah, I would take it. I would take it to feel like that, to be able to create that art, perform it. Sure. Yeah.
Then we have a problem because I would take it too.
Oh, this is a problem?
Well, because if all three of us take it, then the cost isn't cost enough.
Okay.
Cost isn't bad enough because I would take it, and I'll say why. Just because I wouldn't use it much. I would use it very sparingly.
Okay.
Because hopefully I wouldn't get shot very soon. But it'd be really nice to be able to really surprise people. Just sometimes I need this podcast. I had to go out and find someone else to do my theme song for me. If I could do my own, that would be great.
You could have asked me. I mean, you know me, your friend Paul, who got kicked out of
you did
music school.
You did get kicked out.
Yeah, I could have stuck. You could have helped me stick it to those fuddy-duddies over at
Carleton
University.
I think it's impressive that you got kicked out of Carleton. I think that's an achievement.
Well, I didn't get kicked out of Carleton. I just got kicked out of that one department.
Okay, now I feel better about Carleton.
But what did you do to get kicked out? Or was it just great? I don't feel like they kick you out for that.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to bore everybody. Suffice it to say,
you could lie and make it a salacious, interesting story.
I had sex with a piano, and they wouldn't let us be together.
That's a great story. Do you have a baby grand?
Oh, Maddox! Oh man!
Very good.
Ding 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 ding.
Very good, Maddox.
What was that sound? Nothing but net.
We're all too willing to take it. It's not a harsh enough.
It's not enough of a difficult decision.
Maybe we have to shorten that time frame.
Okay.
You get the musical genius of John Lennon. How many years?
Or maybe instead of getting shot, it's something much more horrible.
Oh.
A worse death, a more painful death?
Yeah.
Well, also, yeah, because getting shot is a martyring death.
It's
right?
not, and it's a fast one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into the worst. What's your worst death? For me, it'd be I would never want to die in a car crash where it's people can see my body. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
That would give me pause.
For me, it's less about the means of death so much as the implication of what it would be. Because I want to take the thing because I want to be a musical genius. I want people to respect me for my musical genius. But if I were to somehow music so poorly it killed me, and I don't know enough music to say how this would happen, but hit a note on a piano that caused the piano to fall on me, and I died because a piano fell on me or something.
A sour note.
Yeah, I hit a bad note, and it broke the legs of piano, and the piano fell on me and crushed me, and everyone watched me on stage as I slowly died under a piano, going "Help me, help me!" And I make terrible music while doing it, slamming on the keys.
What about you die without ever having fallen in love?
I mean, I might do that anyway.
Are you talking about your real life right now?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, that cost might already apply.
Oh, Maddox. Ladies, someone out there, please date Maddox. He's adorable. We love him.
New idea for a podcast.
Okay.
So we just get women in here.
That's
from anywhere we can find them, and we pitch you to them.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh, that sounds like a hard podcast to book.
That's my wish.
Yeah. I love how red he's turning right now. This is great.
No. I wish for a podcast in which we find Maddox a wife.
Pod mate.
That sounds like a terrible approach to podcasting.
Okay, I think we're on to something now. So you have the talent of John Lennon.
Yes.
But you have
to host a podcast about
where people try to set you up on dates. Yeah. Where you have the talent of John Lennon, and you're going to get shot, and your whole life people are trying to set you up on dates, and you really don't want to date.
And it never works, too. And everyone desperately tries to hook you up, and no one ever wants to.
Yeah. You only have horrible Tinder dates.
Constant people trying to hook you up on dates.
Yeah. You're every time you go to a dinner party, they're we invited this nice person for you, which happened to me a couple weeks ago. Total ambush. Don't do that, please.
That sounds like hell. I would say no on that. I don't think I could live my whole life constantly, especially if I know they're never going to work out, and then constantly people trying to hook me up with everyone.
Yeah. But the dates always really like you and are like, hey.
No, I was thinking the other way. You just know, It's never like a mean thing. It's never like they're terrible people. It's just like you feel no chemistry, no interest. It just never works out, or they don't feel interested in you either. Like
isn't that what it is? Sorry if I'm like, educate me. I'm learning a lot today, but like, isn't that what it is to be asexual? Like to live life without that interest or desire, and then but to be in a world where so much of our society is defined around that, like that kind of pain.
I think asexual and aromantic are two different things.
Yeah, they often find people romantically interesting, but don't have like a sexual urge for them.
Okay,
and I'm saying like this is like you just don't feel any connection to anybody.
Total social isolation.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
I mean, you can have like a light buddy and some acquaintances, but it's not like you never feel like anyone is the person you want to spend.
So it's more like a Phantom of the
with.
Opera type scenario now, where you're like a total outcast.
Yeah, but you got the musical genius of John Lennon.
The idea of not finding love, that's I like the social isolation. I find that really compelling.
Yeah.
That
and constant trying to get paired as well, which is even more torturous. So if we go with that.
Wait, which one is it though? Because like constantly getting paired, like to me that's
but they never work.
Okay, so but then you still have a social life.
Yeah,
because I feel like having like the Phantom of the Opera scenario where you're like completely isolated from society for some reason. So you have all this talent, but no connection. That's painful.
Would you take the wish with that? Then?
No.
All right, let's go to Paul.
I'll stick with my murder mysteries.
Social isolation. You're Phantom of the Opera.
So basically, you become the Phantom of the Opera, just with
John Lennon's music,
without necessarily any of the desire for revenge, because of course you're so fixated on what if nobody had any possessions? Wouldn't life be great?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't think I would take that. What would be the point?
Yeah.
Then
I could too far the other way.
I could enjoy my own tunes.
Yeah.
But then I would also have to live in a sub basement.
Yeah, I think we've gone too far the other way. So what if it's that middle one then? So you won't find your perfect mate. People always try to hook you up, but you still have a social life.
Yeah, I could live with that. Sure.
Paul?
I mean, yeah, I can go with it. I mean,
I don't care enough about music. I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Music is nice. It's a perk. Again, I was going to barely use it if I got it.
The music is nice. I think that's something that we've been dancing around.
Music is nice.
Music is nice. I think we all need to just acknowledge that.
But yeah, no. Social awkwardness would be worse for me. I would become the social outcast because I wouldn't want to go out.
Right. Oh, so it would destroy you.
Because if every time I went out, someone was going to try to hook me up with someone that I knew wasn't going to work out, and I'd have to spend all my social time trying to be nice to someone who I know I don't. We're not gonna.
This is very revealing. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll notice I'm awkward.
He says awkwardly.
Yeah. So that one wouldn't
Maddox,
work for me.
Someone date
Oh
man.
So I guess we've got it then. We got two yeses, two people who don't mind having socially awkward interactions basically every time they go out.
Yeah, it's called life.
And then me going like, no, can't do it. So we've got two people who are taking the wish and one person who's turning it down. But what about you, audience? Would you take this wish? And do you have any wishes you'd like to hear us find a cost for? Let us know. So that's what we came up with, but we want to hear from you. Your wishes, your costs, your thoughts, your innermost feelings, your deepest fears. So contact us. You can find us on Twitter at breakawish.pod. You can email us, breakawish.pod@gmail.com. There's a Break-A-Wish discussion group on Facebook. And breakawish.ca will have information on all of this. If you want to hear more about our guests, well, Anne McMaster, she runs a show called Date Night Comedy the last Thursday of every month at Comedy Bar in Toronto at 8 p.m. Also, look up her sketch group on Twitter at NotOasis. And you can look her up personally on Twitter at Shika McMaster. If you want to find out more about Paul JP, you can find him on Twitter at P. Piakoshevsky. He also runs a show called Thursday Night Fan Fiction every third Thursday of the month at the Social Capital Theatre here in Toronto. You can also find out more about that by going to Morning Person Theatre on Facebook. This is a Kicks and Giggles entertainment production hosted by me, Maddox Campbell. Theme by Matthew Reid, and album art by Justin Langford. We are a proud member of the Sonar Podcast Network. Find out more at thesonarnetwork.com. One last thing before I leave you. Sometimes I find a wish that doesn't take a whole episode to find a cost for. I'm going to call these summary judgments. Chris Mayhew wished for a wish that doesn't have an ironic cost. Well, the cost to get a wish without an ironic cost is that the person you hate most in the entire world also gets a wish without an ironic cost. I wonder what they'd wish for.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.